battle with Kung Fu Eddie. He will fight you to the death.
What's up, everybody? This is Kung Fu Eddie, baby, and I'm here with a very hungry, very eating. You're gonna hear a lot of chewing from his side, Mister Front Row Phil, baby. Most important question: how are you doing today?
Hungry?
Yeah,
Yeah.
hungry.
Hungry like a hippo?
Hungry like a hippo. Anyways, I appreciate you guys following me in my social media as I do this beautiful thing in content with pro wrestling. So, as you're eating, let me pull up the average question of the week. If I had it ready, I should have been more professional. Should AEW counter program WWE now that WWE is about to go across seas in Saudi Arabia for WrestleMania 2027?
Absolutely. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Because anyone who says that WWE is not counter programming AEW has been living under a rock.
Yeah, because two could play that game, if as some people say. So, because a lot of people are worried about like, oh, what's gonna happen to WrestleCon? Oh, what's gonna happen to High Spots? Oh, what's gonna happen to GCW? They could do anything if they have a true following. They don't need Mania weekend in order to be successful. If they have a real true following, then their fandom will come.
I guess. I mean, we've talked about this, and you and I have gone to a few WrestleManias together. These companies live off the back of WrestleMania. And I think that's one of the reasons that like Tony Khan stopped doing AEW shows. He does Ring of Honor shows. But that's kind
He
of like
did
the
like two of the super. I forgot what it's called, but like the Superstar Showdown or
But did
whatever.
he do one in Vegas? He didn't do one in Vegas, did he?
Not that I know of, but the last time he did was definitely in Philly because I got the media approval. Thanks, Ring of Honor. Thanks, TK. Appreciate you. So now that Mania 42's prices are out the door, my guy, are you gonna go? Oh snap!
I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, it's like
I mean, you can't. You like. I mean, hey man.
I mean, I'm definitely breaking the record next year because I'm not going to Saudi. Are you going to Saudi? I know you're going to Saudi.
Hey man. Shout out to all of y'all that has been playing that Busta Rhymes song, A-Rap Money. Anything Triple H. That is like my favorite thing in life. No, but sadly, I will not be getting A-Rap Money. I will not be anywhere near Saudi Arabia. Matter of fact, I won't even be near Las Vegas because, my God, these ticket prices are astronomically wild. Almost $10,000 in order to be front row, Section 8.
10,000? Where the hell? What? No, it's more than that.
Sir,
dude, it was
okay. So this is an early post.
I looked at the tickets yesterday.
All right, so thank you, because I looked at this post on Monday at 5:30.
Okay, I'll tell you right now. I looked at tickets yesterday. All right, because I got the VIP package. No, they give you the pre-sale tickets code. So second row for 2 days, $32,000 does not include Ticketmaster screwing you over, which is probably an additional 15-20%.
No idea, but good to know. So yeah, I'm definitely didn't go to Vegas this year. I'm definitely not going to Vegas next year.
You should go to Vegas. Don't do Vegas for wrestling. Do Vegas for Vegas.
Oh, like a true hardcore fan that I said like, hey man, if you're a fan of GCW, fan of WrestleCon, you should definitely go. Anyway, speaking of being a true fan, let's go over these pay-per-views that happened over the weekend. I personally saw All Out because I paid for it since I already have an HBO Max account. You did not pay for anything because
I didn't watch anything.
Yeah, basically that's the reason why, because you didn't want to pay it or you didn't have the true access to it as you thought you did.
Correct. I thought I had ESPN Plus, but I did not have ESPN Plus.
Yeah, he had the basic ESPN.
I was basic.
Yeah, he was basic. So, let's go over a lot of things between the events because technically they counter programmed themselves because while All Out was having their main event between Hangman Adam Page versus Kyle Fletcher, WrestlePalooza was having their opening match, which is John Cena and Brock Lesnar. In paper, just by looking in paper, which one would you have to choose if you did not know anything that you know now? On paper.
On paper, I would go with the better wrestling match because I know one's going to most likely be a squash match because we've seen this before. Brock doesn't wrestle anymore. Brock just squashes. So I would have gone with the Kyle Fletcher match.
Okay. Now that you've seen the results, you've seen what happened.
Yes.
Which one would you prefer?
The one I said I was going to pick.
I figured. Because, oh my God, what was WrestlePalooza? Other than
WrestlePalooza.
Go ahead, please.
WrestlePalooza showed you that I don't know if Triple H is booking anymore or somebody above him is booking anymore because the booking has just become awful.
Yeah, no, 100%.
I mean, like, did you really? I mean, this is what's in a second, third, last match, whatever.
It's getting there. It's getting there. We're gonna talk about his second, last, whatever, in a minute. But yeah,
And then what they did to poor McIntyre. Like, I don't mind.
We're gonna be jumping ahead, ladies.
Okay,
because no. Go ahead, because we're both crunch on time. So
yeah, no.
Let's just jump everywhere ahead. So yeah, this whole WrestlePalooza
was a shit show. Excuse my language, and you're probably gonna have to block that out.
Nah, that's fine. I think we're past the 5 minutes. Yeah, we're past the 5 minutes. But yeah, I mean, not only you're saying it as a casual fan, not only am I saying it as a casual fan, ESPN is saying it as a critic, because imagine all the years that Bruce Pritchard, Kevin Dunn, these people that are backstage that hated Dave Meltzer about the horrible, unbiased rating that they give to their shows that they really work hard in. That they were like, oh, these guys, Meltzer and Alvarez, Johnson, they don't know what they're talking about. What the hell do they know about? They don't know the insiders. But guess what? Do they think they have a valid argument with people from ESPN? As I'm continue talking, because Front Row Phil is seeing something, and it's definitely not the Tylenol that he took. So ESPN gave WrestlePalooza a C. A C. And here, while Front Row Phil is taking care of his visual situation, the excellent Valkyria, I said Valkyria, Vaquer, you see, I'm messing up because I'm distracted too. The excellent Vaquer and Sky match saved this show from being truly average. Shout out to them because they use the word average, because that's what we are. We're the average wrestling talk. It was a phenomenal display inside the square circle. Everything else was either underwhelming, especially the main event between Rhodes and McIntyre.
Yeah.
Or the setup for the future match between Lesnar dominating Cena. For a card that was promised to be epic moments, it felt a little short of expectation. Again, not from Meltzer, not from Alvarez, not from PW Insider. It was from ESPN, the guys that are hosting future WWE events.
Well, technically the guys that are paying, yes.
Yes, there you go.
But again, we talked about this. This was a last-minute match. It was, going back to what we started with, it was counterproductive in the sense that they were competing against AEW, so they just threw a match on the wall and saw if it stuck. Half of these matches were put together at the last minute, even though they go, oh, no, we planned about this years in advance. No, you don't.
No, you didn't. Because it showed. It definitely showed. Again, I 100% agree. The Stephanie Vaquer and Io Sky match.
But that should have been a WrestleMania match.
That should have been, if I would have just seen that match only, maybe I would have felt like my dollars was worth it. And again, the Braun and Bronsons and the Usos was good, but the whole chair being ricocheted over Jay's head.
Did you see how fast that happened?
It happened so fast, like to the point that I had to legit slow down my own phone in order to see, like, because I didn't even see what's happening.
I saw that and they said, this is where it happened. I was like, this is where what happened? He hit him in the back. Hit him in the back. Well, where did he get hit? And then they slowed it down and I was like, oh, Oh, dang.
No, yeah. I mean, again, it's just proven that. I mean, I love Jay. I love the Yeet. I love the whole momentum that he's having. But it just goes to show that maybe he does belong in a tag team. Maybe he does belong in the mid card. I mean, this is. I'm not saying that as a hater. I'm just saying, like, as a person that's watching wrestling. And again, like, who am I? I'm just a guy that loves professional wrestling. You could choose to hear me or not hear me. But if you are hearing me, thank you for liking and subscribing to this whole beautiful, wonderful content that I'm producing. But to be fair, is Jay losing his whole aura and steam?
I mean, it's what? 4 letters, 1 word. Stop!
Because that's how some fans are feeling now.
Yeah, no, it's like if you push something long enough, and this is where I give Jericho a lot of crap, but he is creative enough where he reinvents himself, right? And I think at some point the Yeet thing is, is gonna stop, and he's gonna have to do something else. And his in ring skills as a tag team, probably the best in the world. As an individual,
100%. I mean, they're technically in the Mount Rushmore of tag team in modern day era, and anybody that's like historian would love to say, "Oh, I'd love to see the Usos versus the Legion of Doom, Road Warriors. Love to see them with the Steiner brothers. Love to see them with Harlem Heat." Their fantasy booking, their future matches, like Usos versus the Young Bucks, and they're in that pinnacle. But as singles competitors, I mean, you can have your moments, but it looks like you can't have like a long like le- legitimately run of a main event star.
so we talked about this. When you break up a tag team, you have to find your Shawn Michaels. You have to find your
For the lack of analogy, yes.
your Bret Hart, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you can say both of their tag teams that they came from were really highly successful, and they were, right?
Yeah.
They were both successful tag teams, and they were tag team specialists. But when they broke out, they broke out. Bret Hart broke out. Shawn Michaels broke out. So did they break out? I mean, at one point you
They
thought so.
they technically broke up, but they found each other once again. And
Well, maybe this is a blessing in disguise.
100%. I mean, it should, but it gets to the point as well. Like, what else do the Usos have to accomplish? Like, how many times do you have to win the championship tag team titles in order to feel great? I feel like they're already great. So, again, the only solution for them is to
Retire
or
Be first
go
ballot Hall of Famers.
or go somewhere to another organization.
They're not going anywhere. Their life
It,
is.
I understand, dude. I agree. Some people are lifers. I will never see Randy Orton in TNA. I will never see freaking. I'm gonna use Randy Orton again. I'm never gonna see him in AEW. Like those type of people, they're like WWE lifers. But
You never see John Cena in AEW or in.
well, I mean, I don't count him because I've seen him in Peacemaker and HBO Max are advertising Peacemaker, and HBO Max is hosting AEW. So um. But yeah, speaking of Cena, he tweeted out that hey, I only got a few more matches left. Triple H. Some of these fans are saying that they want to see me and AJ Styles. What are you gonna do about it? And what did he do about it? He booked it on for Crown Jewels at Perth, Australia. If I got that correct.
I don't think that came from John Cena. I think to go back to your review, I
Yeah.
think that came from ESPN.
Well, not only that, it definitely put some pressure on it, but again, was AJ Styles between you and I? Because nobody else is listening, not even WWE, so it's just between you and I.
Right.
Was this part of the plan with AJ Styles being one of Cena's final opponents, or do you think because of the whole ESPN situation, they had to bite the bullet and go ahead and do it?
Okay. All right. You and I had this discussion offline, just between the two of us, right?
Yeah, nobody's listening.
And in literally the last, I hate to say this, in the last 15 years, you and I saw John Cena's greatest match. And that was in San Antonio, Texas.
At the Alamo Dome.
Where he went one-on-one. Not with the Great One, but literally AJ Styles. And that was the match where everyone was yelling, "You can wrestle."
I still remember that day, man.
Dude, that was a great match.
It was
And again, it goes back to...
It was a phenomenal match, pun intended. Well, I said my water.
It was one of those matches where you're like, wow, can you imagine these two guys in their prime? Because they were past their prime,
Yeah,
right?
Thugonomics versus the... he was
He
always
still
been
the
the phenomenal
one,
one,
right?
Yeah, he was just a ready to fly one.
I mean, like...
Wait, would you prefer Ready to Fly or the Lone Wolf Bullet Club, that little middle ground? I know. I know.
Like, when he recreated himself in Bullet Club, oh, God.
Dude, I still, to this day, I hate you and my other friend that got a picture with him with the IWGP belt, but I didn't because I went to...
Dude, side story, man. We were just meeting him up in, of all places, Galveston, Texas, right? And our mutual friend just jokes and he goes, "Hey, it's too bad you don't have the IWGP belt with you." He looks at all of us and he goes, "Oh, it's in the car." And we're like, "Well, bring it out, man. If you bring it out..."
You didn't say those exact
Oh, yeah,
words.
we didn't say those exact
You're not
words.
going to tell someone who's a grown-ass man, "Hey, man, go get your belt cut."
We said, "You know what? If you brought out the pictures, you could probably charge people more if you take pictures with the belt." And he goes,
"Yeah, dude."
And he goes, "Really?" He said, "Really?"
This is how you know you're the opposite of Andrade. Shout out to you, Andrade. Que te vaya bien. Hey, cuida tu hijo. Because AJ Styles is legit the greatest of all time, but he doesn't know how great he is, to the point that he's like, you have the prestigious title.
Well, no. For him, let's be honest. He thought it was just a belt.
It was just a bite. Earth is white.
I was like, we were joking with him. It's like, it's a shame they won't let you take that out of the country. He's like, "Out of the country? It's in my car." I was like, "It's in your car."
In Galveston. Nonetheless, if you know, you know.
So then he goes and takes it out of his car, and guess what? Miraculously, that line got bigger. It was big to begin with, ladies and gentlemen, because it's AJ freaking Styles, but it got bigger.
I know. I because again, he charged $20 for a picture with him, and the more you buy, the more discounts he'll give you.
Yep.
And again, it just goes the fact that how awesome he is, and I just wish I would have known that he was doing it with the belt. I would have done it again.
On top of that, we all stayed for the wrestling match, and his wrestling match was probably the best.
Shout out to Mike Dell, because I still remember his opponent. Yeah. Mike Dell,
match.
Him and Mike Dell. I wish that was somewhere in the universe of the internet.
I wish somebody would have recorded that. And I'm sure somebody recorded that.
Someone recorded that, but they don't want to like show it, or probably said.
But Mike Dell goes back, getting his ass whooped, even though it was a really close match, and says, "I got beat by the IWGP Heavyweight Champion, probably one of the greatest wrestlers of all time."
Dude, I wish I had a time machine. I would have changed a lot of things other than my relationships. But anyway, speaking of relationships, we had the Lynches versus the Lees.
Oh, yes.
Again, a lot of people are saying that should have been the main event. As a person that you did not see this show, should have that been in the main event?
I think, didn't WWE brand that as the co-main event? Because they're really good at co-main events now. I think they branded it as the co-main event.
I hope you guys heard me sigh. No, I don't believe in that shit. I mean, well, not really.
I mean, we don't believe in it, but I mean, I think they branded it that way.
Yeah, well,
because I mean, AEW does the same thing. Remember when we went to All Out?
Because like Tony Khan knows that the women are gonna deliver, but he doesn't want to say like, "I'm gonna give the women the main event," which Tony Khan, Tony Storm. Well, now no more Tony Storm. Shout out to Chris Statlander, especially that she's the new women's champion.
Did that come out of left field or what?
That came out of left field.
That came out of
just like this podcast, because I'm trying to stay on topic. But let's
go.
No. Let's go next door.
You brought it up.
No, I know. I'm just a good transition. So let's go next door. So yeah, the women's fatal 4-way. Yeah, shout out to Chris Statlander, because a lot of the podcasters that I listen to, they said that the only way AEW could have a good pay-per-view, because they are going to deliver in the match qualities, but they had to come out with a surprise, which they did. One of them being Chris Statlander becoming the new AEW Women's Champion, and
the other surprise is better.
I know. We'll get to that. We'll get to that, because I'm terrible at saying the topic, as you can tell. This is like a great conversation, and doing it in person.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is our wrestling conversation. You're just listening to our regular conversation.
Yeah. We're always go to one topic to another,
Yep.
and we never stay in one topic. But yeah, so yeah, Chris Steinleiner, and what helped out the most is Tony Storm's like facial reaction was like, "You beat me! Oh my god, you beat me! Congratulations!" But this isn't over, honey. But congratulations. So that was like the best surprise ever. But continue on with the surprises. Beth Copeland, because I didn't want to say the other last name.
You were gonna say the bird that rises from the dead.
Yeah, hey, shout out to Phoenix Lucha though.
Yeah.
So yeah, Bethlehem.
Bethlehem.
Yeah, I think that's her full name, right?
So how
Bethlehem.
much do you think? Did they get a couples discount in AEW?
Yo. So yeah, she was honestly the most surprise that Triple H wished he would have done, because Triple H said there's gonna be a lot of surprises. You should tune in, but it wasn't a surprise that we all were like yay for. It was a surprise of, oh, Stephanie McMahon in the Hall of Fame, and when is WrestleMania again? Cool. Why are you telling us this now?
Because they're trying to sell tickets. That's why.
Hey,
Because ticket sales go on the next week, which they did. I'm sorry, they are.
I wish I had my soundboard. I would have put crickets. Anyways, congratulations, Stephanie McMahon, and all your accomplishments.
What accomplishments are those?
Being a nepo baby, but
I was gonna say being born to a billionaire.
yeah, man. I mean, don't discredit Miss Stephanie McMahon. She still got some credits under her belt. It's in the back of her Hall of Fame T-shirt, which you're gonna buy for $40.
She got some pelts, including that Macho Man pelt.
Anyways,
Hey,
all right.
too soon.
Anyways, going back to the other kind of programming, what a bump from Beth Phoenix. She looked at her man, kissed him, and said, "I love you, because I'm gonna die." And if anybody follows my pages, which again I appreciate you, you saw my reaction. Beth Phoenix went all out, no pun intended.
Oh, that's another pun.
And she got murdered by FTR.
Luckily, she loves those guys like brothers, because they all live in the same hood.
Yeah, because they're like, hey, our daughters are friends. Speaking,
only one of them has a daughter, right?
Yeah, one of them, the bald one, not the Glock one.
The other one, what is he? Is he married?
Married to his guns, but
he's married to the state of Florida.
Speaking of couples, let's go back next door again with
the two Mr. and Mrs. fighting each other.
Yeah, so I want to give a quick shout out to Rollins and Lynch's gear, because they're the colors of suicide prevention. So some of us really need that nowadays. So just a reminder, you're not alone. Call somebody, call a friend, call a foe. Hell, even better. Call a foe. Yeah, man. Sometimes you need a hater to remind you how great you are. Ooh, that's a bar. Anyways, so speaking of bars, yeah, AJ Lee had the best reception in the entire pay-per-view, other than the John Cena entrance with the kids, which kind of spoils Peacemaker season 6, because there was no color kid in that group. But that's no here nor there. And speaking of colors, AJ Lee's shoe at the bottom was the LGBTQ rainbow color. So again, another shout out that they're kind of secretly giving out to people, even though they can't say it out loud because they're getting paid millions.
Yeah, sure. So that was like the Sammy and CM Punk a while back ago. They were wearing the Palestine.
Yeah, same thing with Lynch too. She was wearing that jacket. But yeah, so that match, it was what it was, because again, I only saw the highlights. You didn't see anything. But just by the highlights itself, it looked like a fun match.
I mean, I think that was the intent.
And I'm glad that's what it was, because again, we don't know. It's been 10 years since AJ Lee has wrestled. And the closest thing she did wrestling was the show Heels, which is on Netflix, which is something I need to watch. I just figure out what to watch over the weekend while I'm dog sitting. Anyways, yeah, I mean, should have that been the main event?
I mean,
Seeing the
so we've always discussed this, like, Vince McMahon's thing, or even so we talked about this with was it you that enlightened me about this? About the way that when Tony Khan books, he always books the main event to be the championship match.
yeah, man, Tony Khan, stop being a punk. Book the women in the main event.
So then what Tony Khan will always do is, like, if it's an unsanctioned match, he will book that last. So if it's
Well, because the reason it's unsanctioned is because the pay-per-view is technically over after the
correct. So if not, Tony Khan, by the letter of the law, always books his male main event as the main event of the show.
Yeah.
Now, that WWE's never followed that rule, right? They stopped doing that. I don't know.
WrestleMania 35.
Yeah.
With Ronda Rousey, Charlotte, and Becky.
Right. So they've stopped following that rule. So
rule? They only did it one time.
I mean, but they used to do that.
Well, Trish Stratus and Lita on Raw.
They used to do that. Like we were at 20, was it 25, where everybody knew what the main event was.
Oh, yeah, the HP Sizzle from Heaven and Undertaker from
But
Philly.
they didn't. They put that in the middle of the card, and they're like, huh?
Because again, like Randy Orton and Triple H should have been a street fight. But again, the stipulation was, if I remember correctly, if Triple H disqualifies himself, then Randy Orton becomes the World Heavyweight Champion.
That's what you didn't.
So they kind of shot themselves in the foot.
Right. So again, that's a little old school, and I don't. I mean, I like the old school thing, but that also tells you, by default, you're always saying the men's heavyweight championship is the best belt on your card when they don't always have the best performers. I.e., we talked about this. I honestly thought that, and it was all in, that the women's match should have probably gone on last, because you had two workers that you knew were going to kill it, and they killed it.
Which one are you talking about?
We're talking about All In. Was it All In or All Out? All In.
All In was you're talking about Monet and Storm. Well, because like when you say like women's, they should have main event, it should have been Storm and Mariah May. But again, Tony Khan didn't want to do that because he knew Mariah May was out the door.
Mariah May was fine, but let's be honest. You wanted to see Storm versus Monet, right? That has dollar signs on it, and literally and metaphorically.
Speaking of dollar signs, MJF has been a workhorse that weekend.
Oh, stop it!
Stop
it!
You're a hater.
Stop it!
You're a hater,
dude. Did you know there's a meme out there that says the Japanese Pitbull, what was his name? Ishii has worked more dates on AEW for either Dynamite or for Collision than MJF has.
Yeah, and he also worked more shows than Roman Reigns, and here we are. Still talking about Roman Reigns being Akuma.
I've lost touch with Roman Reigns now. After his reign and running it for like almost 3 years, he can just go rest. He can go like you said, go film Street Fighter. Yeah, I really don't care anymore.
Which I'm excited for personally. I hope.
I don't know, man.
The only one I don't get is Schultz. Andrew
oh no, he's funny. He's funny. You know the backstory, right? That was Capcom making a dab at SNK, so that's fine. And he's your comedic outlet, and he looks the part. He can do it. I'm trying to figure out Cody Rhodes though as that, as the main leader.
Just show me the flat top and we'll talk.
Yeah, I guess so. We'll see.
Just transfer the neck tattoo to his shoulders.
True.
Anyways, so come on, give MJF his flowers. He went to CMML.
Yeah, he worked back-to-back days, and those in 850 days.
Oh god damn it! This guy's such a hater. He cannot look because fuck you. MJF.
I'm sorry, I don't have MJF's balls in my mouth like you do. Sorry. Or his wife. Oh, tic-tac.
Look at that man could easily have a honeymoon, but he's out here giving out performances of a lifetime. Not only on the square circle, but in the silver screen. But with that being said, MJF had a great performance with Mark Briscoe. And personally, we always put Mark Briscoe as a tag team with Jay because, God rest his soul, Jay was definitely the heart and soul of that team, in my opinion. but Mark Briscoe is definitely showing out a lot ever since, sadly, Jay passed away.
Well, Jay was, to go back to the analogy of tag teams, bring it up. Jay was Shawn Michaels,
100%.
right?
I love you, Mark. I love you, Mark.
Jay was Bret Hart. So he has to step up. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like the the redneck kung fu, but that's only so much.
He was definitely he was like that R-Truth comedian in Ring of Honor, but Saturday, that match between himself and MJF, you know what that reminded me of?
No, what did that remind you of?
Mick Foley versus Randy Orton in that hardcore match. Because again, it continued making MJF that even though he's like the quote unquote chicken shit heel, but he could get hardcore if he wants to. You have to admit that.
No, I'll give credit where credit is due.
Please do.
No, but I'm just saying, when you're sitting here blowing smoke up his ass like he's the greatest thing since sliced bread,
I'm not
going to put you in your place.
I'm not saying.
I'm going to put you in your freaking place.
I'm not saying.
Now, if you started off with, were you surprised how well the last two pay-per-views and MJ
was I not saying that?
No, that's not what you said. You said,
ladies,
let's give it up to the greatest wrestler of all time.
No, I didn't say that. I said, let's give it up
to
to the guy that's actually working over the weekend. That he had a phenomenal weekend. That's all I was saying. And ladies and gentlemen, y'all could
his match at Arena Mexico was fine. I thought it was really good. And
it
was fine. It was not the greatest match ever. And the right guy finally won. So I like, after tearing off his mask and literally fake pitting him twice, fine. At least he finally got it. And then yes, the hardcore match was great. It was probably one of the better matches I've seen MJF wrestle.
That was like my favorite quote unquote match, because I thought the match that I was gonna like was Moxley versus Darby Allin, which was kind of disappointing, but I kind of blame 20% of me being tired, but 80% was definitely like I felt like overstimulated pause of all the matches that I was looking at.
Yeah, you should have seen this guy pop when Jungle Boy's music popped up. Yeah, that's when you popped. That's when you got up.
Yeah. I got up for I tears were coming out when I saw Luchasaurus take off Kill Switch belt and threw it in the crowd, knowing that there's a metal piece.
I've been looking for that on eBay and I haven't seen it. So guys, where is it? Did I miss it? If I missed it, send me the link.
Amen. But yeah, even though like MJF versus Mark Briscoe was my favorite, like quote unquote hardcore poppy match, my favorite match, you already know because I've told you about this, was Máscara Dorada versus Tenose Takesha and Kazuchika Okada.
Yes.
That match, I wish I would have recorded some of my reactions, but honestly, ladies and gentlemen, I was like really tired because that match really like overstimulated to the point that I was just like really fatigued of how good this match was. And I'm not saying this as blowing AEW smoke up their ass, because again, one of the main problems that we've been preaching about AEW pay-per-views is that they're too damn long. I will admit that as a fan of AEW. But at the end of the day, they do produce good content. But it took me 2 fucking days to watch the pay-per-view, though. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
That was also a match that they're obviously setting up for those two to happen.
Dude, I cannot wait.
The question,
I'm already going to answer it.
It's not going to happen in America. It's going to happen in Wrestle Kingdom. I'm already calling it. It's happening. Why else?
Wait, no. Oh my God, I know where you're going.
Why else
okay, hold on.
would he want to have the championship match before Wrestle Kingdom? Because he's going to win it.
Which championship? Be specific for the audience.
The IWGP Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah.
Which he's going to win. And then he's going to sit there and says, there's nobody, and I mean nobody, that can beat me. And there's only 2 people who could pop up. One of which he's already wrestled and lost to, and also has intestinal fortitude issues currently, i.e. Kenny Omega. The other one is literally a Japanese rainmaking legend.
Yeah, he's like right next door he's like on his shoulder. So yeah, I do see that happening. But again, it's just pointless of the G1 now that it was supposed...
Dude, we talked about this. G1's gotten to the point it's as pointless as Royal Rumble. Back in the day, remember when Royal Rumble meant something?
Well, remember, back in the day, Royal Rumble, the first Royal Rumble winner, Hacksaw Jim Duggan. He just won it. He didn't get anything out of it.
Yeah, but now it's what is it? It's the beginning to the road to WrestleMania.
Remember, they change it every year. They change it like, oh, like this. The winner of the Royal Rumble gets
one of two chances.
One or two chances of a championship match.
Yeah.
And then the next year, the winner of this Royal Rumble will be main eventing WrestleMania. So when people say like one of the championship, you kind of know who wins it, and then the one that says main event, oh, you really know who's gonna win it.
Yep.
Speaking of winning, you guys are winning for listening to this whole conversation. I truly appreciate you guys listening, subscribing, liking, following. Again, I've been looking at the algorithms and my numbers, and I'm getting really close to monetizing my content because, you know.
Oh, he's got so he needs 2 more followers, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I need 2 more.
Just 2 more.
2 more followers. We're gonna wrap this up with the average question. That's my foot. Oh, he was looking at for his phone. We're gonna finish up with the average question of the week, even though we did the beginning. Now we're gonna do the closing.
What is the average question?
What should WWE do in order? We kind of answer it, but I'll ask it again for both organizations. What does WWE have to do in order to prove to ESPN that they are a legit, quote unquote, sport arena and all that stuff? And what does AEW have to do in order to take advantage of WWE's ticket prices being so expensive to the point that it's an open market for AEW to take advantage of that disadvantage that WWE is going through? Because again, like, AEW could easily say like, hey, if you can't afford WWE, you could come to AEW. You come here, man. You can meet your future stars. Hey, remember MVP? Yeah, he was in WWE. He's here now. So basically, what does both companies have to do in order to get the full advantage from each other or at each other? Lack of a better word.
Oh, okay. Repeat that again.
So, what does we'll break it down in hacks. What does WWE have to do in order to show ESPN that they are worth what they're paying for?
I don't know, man. Like I said, we live in a society now where if you're doing pay-per-view, it doesn't make sense anymore. UFC is now on free TV, right? They hit up this great deal, and for the longest time, if you live outside of this country and you own Netflix, you see everything with your Netflix deal. AEW.
Shout out to VPN.
AEW now, you still have to pay for a pay-per-view. And I'm like, I mean, like, I would chip in if we're doing like all in, all out, whatever the big four is for AEW. But do I really want to see an AEW pay-per-view every single month? Just as much as I really don't care to see a WWE pay-per-view every month. Now, when it was on and we had, Peacock, yeah, it's on, I'm bored, I'll put on the cock. Right?
Hey, yo.
Oh, but now even ESPN, if I don't have the package, I'm not going to go buy the package, right? And we don't want to do the package together because you're WWE'd out, right?
I am WWE out.
So then it becomes an issue. So how do you get to the audience? And I hate to say this, TKO is milking, not TK. TKO is milking WWE. They're coming in as a corporate company and saying, hey, you know what? These people, we can get as much money as we can and then let it die and then sell it off.
It was legit wild how the CEO, whoever was in charge of TKO, basically said, like, how stupid was Vince McMahon catering to the families? Not in those exact words, but in that same idea.
Yes, because he was trying to make it a family-friendly product.
Which, again, it goes back to the fact, like, why are we praising Vince McMahon for being a guy that actually cares about his audience? But here we are. And then going back to AEW, how should AEW take advantage of all the problems that WWE's having with the ticket sales and the ticket prices? That they're like me. They're WWE fatigued. Like, I don't want to watch WWE anymore. And that's not because I choose AEW as a better product. It's because WWE pushed me out.
Right.
So what does AEW have to do in order to continue that momentum of fans like me that are absolutely done with WWE?
So I honestly, this is where TKO is not TK. Tony Khan is not uh, a businessman, an entertainment businessman. I know he owns entertainment companies. I know he owns Jaguars. His family owns Jaguars. His family owns all these football teams in Europe and all this other stuff. However, you know, buying things to buy their libraries is what made Vince McMahon a genius. It wasn't because he was unifying all these companies. It's because he was buying the libraries. That's why, in theory, he bought Ring of Honor. He could have bought TNA when TNA went to him twice and said, "Hey, buy us." I would have just bought you for the freaking library.
Mm-hmm.
So then you would have
Because
had
a good amount of the talents are in.
So now you would have had the Ring of Honor library, the TNA library, and now you're creating AEW and the legacy that is the AEW library. You have enough wrestling content between those three companies that you could compete with anything WWE has created in the last 10 years. Anything that the WWE has created, let me clarify, in the last 10 years.
So you're not a fan of LGF or LFG? That's the one.
But what I'm saying is,
you know, like it's Sexy BJ, whatever his name is.
You have the money. You have the money. Your dad's telling you, you know what? You can have the money when I die, or you can have the money when I'm alive. So spend it. And if he goes around and he has, even though he hasn't claimed how much money AEW has made, but he says AEW has been very profitable. Use some of that profit, reinvest it into creating the library. If anything, worst case scenario, you have this great library that when you go belly up, you can sell it to the WWE, or vice versa. Now you have a competing company that when WWE goes belly up or TKO decides to sell it, they sell it to the cons.
So you're telling me Triple H will work under Tony Khan?
Well, did you ever think that at one point that Bischoff would be working for Vincent McMahon? Anything's possible. It's wrestling after all.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, even though I was like 5 years old when that happened. Anyways, thank you guys. Unless you have any final words.
No, I just want to say, you know, sometimes we worry too much about the business of wrestling, and we should, like you said, just enjoy wrestling. But I will tell you, I will call bad booking when I see bad booking, and I've seen
100%.
And I'm not saying AEW's booking is great. We talked about this.
Yeah.
The show is way too long.
Yeah, that's my only. Honestly, that is my only negative thing about AEW. That's my only negative thing about AEW. I have nothing else other than maybe wishing that Tony Storm would have easily main evented 3 pay-per-views. Honestly, that's but the only main complaint is that AEW is way too long. Yeah, but I still appreciate the product. But while I appreciate the product, guys, I hope you guys are enjoying wrestling. Enjoy the rest of your lovely day, night, week, weekend, month, year, the rest of the year of 2025. Because who knows what's going to happen in 2026 the way things are going. Enjoy wrestling, y'all.
Enjoy wrestling.